Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for our weekly office hours today. My name is George Soto, one of the co-founders here at Asset Mule, joined by my co-founder and CEO Justin Dorfman. Today we're going to dig into one of our favorite topics, and that is how to make your one pager stand out from the crowd, right? We are living in a time where attention is very, very short for a variety of reasons. And I think that we really have to understand and implement strategies that will allow us to stand out from that crowd, from all that clutter. I don't know if you've checked your inboxes at any point today, but I took some time off to get married recently. I came back and I had like, I don't know, 1,300 emails in my inbox. There was no way that I could get through all those or even understand what was in there, right? My brain was completely and utterly overwhelmed. And that's just the fact of the matter. So when we think about sales assets as salespeople who are using channels like email and others, we need to figure out how to stand out. So today we're going to dig into that. If you do have any questions, comments, feedback, I'm going to be monitoring the comments section here on LinkedIn and YouTube. And we kindly ask that you add those, right? Put those in there. We'll get to them immediately if it's urgent. If not, we're going to allocate some time towards the end of this session to answering those questions and digging in detail. So without further ado, Justin, why don't you take it away?
Yeah. I think, you hit the nail on the head, George, about, you know, rising above the noise of the inbox, right? And I think on the other side of the coin, from a product marketer's perspective, this is one of the main reasons why one pagers get a bad reputation, right? Product marketers spend hours and hours and hours building these one pagers, working with designers, trying to get the copy right, trying to get the brand and brand colors and fonts right, getting the product images just right, only for these one pagers never to get viewed or to get viewed very few times, and often not even get used by the sales team, right? Um, so, you know, I've been thinking a lot about why is that, right? Why are these one pagers really getting a bad reputation, but also not being used? And I think when it comes down to it, it's because they're pretty much indistinguishable from one another, right? All of these one pagers out there traditionally are PDFs. They're pretty generic. They're static, right? And they really, if we're being completely honest, uh, provide limited value, right, to a buyer beyond just providing information, right? Um, and I'm a big believer that there's a huge opportunity here to reimagine what these one pagers can be, right? To make them valuable again by making them personalized, making them engaging, something that actually captures the attention and the interest of buyers, delivers information to them, but also provides them with a means of delivering that information to other people on the team, and ultimately, being a tool for driving sales, which in the end is what one pagers were originally meant to be, right? um, all of this meaning, uh, how can we get these one pagers to actually rise above the noise and all the sea of all those PDFs to actually stand out and capture buyers' attentions and deliver value, right? And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to be walking through 5 things that we see our customers doing to really reimagine their one pagers and stand out and capture engagement. And I'm not just talking about this. I mean, the numbers speak to it. Our customers are telling us that these strategies that they're implementing are getting 10 times more views than the static PDFs that they used to use, 5 times more engagement. They're converting 3 times more meetings by using these one pagers, or their sales team is converting 3 times more meetings. And ultimately, they're also driving or reducing sales cycles as these assets are being used across the buyer's journey. So that's what we're going to dive into today. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and let's dive into the 5 things that really can help you reimagine your one-pagers and stand out from the crowd. And for those that aren't familiar with Asset Mule, just as a quick overview, we are a product that helps product marketing and sales teams quickly and easily create what we call personalized interactive sales assets. We give you a library of templates that you can see here that you can build on top of, anything from one-pagers to case studies, competitive pages, sales decks, proposals, you name it. That again are designed to stand out, rise above the noise, and drive engagement with buyers. We also give you the tools to build your own custom templates that again are interactive and engaging. But again, today we're going to dive into the one pager, and the specific one that I've been using a lot. I've actually been using one of our templates in our system that you can use as well, our ABM landing page template, and I've been using it actually as a one pager in my outreach to some target accounts that I've been going after. And if you want to use that as well, all you have to do is click copy template to make it your own. But I'll show you real quick the template that that I've been using, and I'll start to walk you through these 5 things that you can start doing to really stand out. So this is the template that I've been using with our content in it. You'll see all our content here already populated into it, having used that template in our Asset Mule library. And the first thing that I see our customers doing, and I'm doing personally to make this one pager stand out, is personalizing it to the specific account that I'm going after. So you can see here in the header section, we've got our Asset Mule logo, and then we've got a space for our prospects logo. So a very quick and easy thing you can do to stand out is take that second more to add the logo of your prospect, so that they can recognize themselves in that one pager. Maybe it draws them in a little bit more. And in Asset Mule, we make this super easy. All you have to do is put in a website URL for the prospect or the account that you're going after. Let's say I'm going after HubSpot. I can put HubSpot.com in here, and immediately I can find a bunch of logos that I can use in this asset. No more needing to go to Google, search their logo, download it, format it, upload it. You can now just put in their website URL and find a bunch of logos that you can use. If we can't find a logo for you to use, or we have limited logos, you want to use a different one, you can always upload a logo, but this is a really quick and easy way for you to do this. And what I've also been doing, going beyond pulling in their logo, is I've actually been adding their brand colors to my template so that it immediately it captures their attention. They're like, oh, that's my brand colors. This is for me. It's personalized for me. You'll see by default, this is applying our Asset Mule theme, so our own brand colors, but very easily, very similar to how we got the logo, I can put in HubSpot's URL here and pull in their brand colors and make this on brand for them, right? So that's the first thing that I do here is, capture their attention, stand out by adding their logo, and in some cases, their brand colors. The next thing that I do is I call them out by name here. So I like to, put in the company name here. Hey, HubSpot team, want to learn how we can help you create sales assets that convert, right? Again, I'm going to use their brand color here. Since I've added their theme, I can hover over the color icon here and choose maybe this orange. What I'll also do here is I'll just very quickly put in their color for the book a meeting button that I have in here. But I'm not just calling out them by name here. I'm going to actually also create a personalized video here. So what I did is I recorded a 40-second Loom video just saying, hey, HubSpot team, I'm Justin Dorfman from Asset Mule. I wanted to share this page with you, this one pager with you, talking about demonstrating how we can help you with, in our case, creating these personalized interactive sales assets without needing designers that really drive engagement and conversions with your prospects, right? So I just recorded this quick video with our value prop there, talking a little bit about what's on the page for them and how they can connect with me on next steps. And now I can just grab the link to that, and on the one pager, just plug that in here in the video components. And now I have that embedded right in the page. So that's the second thing that I've been doing really to stand out. Most one pagers, the PDFs, they've got these generic images that somebody not familiar with a solution might not really be able to know what to make of. In this case, we've got a video that draws them in to actually check out what I'm saying. As we continue going down, what I also like to do is embed a interactive demo of our product right in the one pager. Again, no more feature descriptions and screenshots, right? Now we actually bring our solution to life right in the one pager by embedding a interactive demo. And we have a couple different purpose-built components. In this case, I'm using the story lane component. So if you're a story lane user, you can grab the URL for your demo, plug it in here, and embed that demo in your asset. If you're not a Storylane user, or if you don't have an interactive demo, you can get started with Storylane for free. And just by clicking on this button, they give you a free forever tier where you can create one demo. And once that demo is created, you can do it in minutes. It's really easy. You can plug that in here and have your interactive demo, again, that they can walk through right in the asset. If you use Novatic instead of Storylane, we also have a dedicated Novatic component that you can use to pull in your Novatic demo as well, right? So really making it quick and easy for you to embed your demos in here. So that's the third thing that I do, is bring our solution to life with an interactive demo. The fourth thing that I do here, and actually what I'm going to do as I'm walking through here, I want to continue to add some of those colors from the HubSpot theme. So I'm going to add this lighter orange here, and I'm going to leave that, and then I'm going to add this lighter orange here just to make it look nice and on brand for them. But the fourth thing that I do is I actually add my calendar into a one pager so that they can actually, if they're interested in what I have to say or show here, they actually can book a meeting with me, right? And you'll see my I'm using Calendly in this case, but this is just an embed code component. So you can grab the embed code from HubSpot or from Chili Piper or any sort of calendar tool that you're using and plug it in here. If it doesn't work, that might mean that it's not on our allow list. So you can reach out to us through in-app chat or emailing us at support@assetmule.ai and send us the embed code for the calendar you want to add. We'll add it to our allow list so that you can add it in here. But again, that means that they can actually book a meeting with me right from the one pager. And I can actually convert interest into meetings, which is really, really cool. But again, really standing out and driving some engagement with our prospects here. And then the final thing is, let's say this is ready now. I'm ready to share this with a prospect. So what I can do is I can save it. Actually, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Asset Mule for HubSpot. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to actually now turn it into a live asset that I can start sending out in my outbound or in my follow-ups. And I'm going to do that by clicking Create Asset. I can do it from here, or as I'm saving these templates, you'll see it becomes part of our template library. And I can also create the asset from here. And now, depending on who I'm sending to, again, I might be sending this to multiple team members within the HubSpot accounts. I can do some personalization here if I want. Actually, I can maybe swap out some more relevant logos using our snippet library. You'll see here, I've created some snippets. And essentially what this is just me saving different versions of the contents for me to pull in here. So logos, or let's go back down here to customer quotes, right? I can pull in. But the last thing that I actually wanted to show you in order to stand out, this is maybe one of the most key things that you can do, is once you've sort of adapted the asset to your needs and you're ready to start sharing it, you can actually share it as a link and an animated screenshot. So, all the things that I've showed you so far, the logo, the colors, the video, the interactive demo, right? These are all things that stand out, assuming that they open up the one pager, that they click through to it. But how are we going to get them to actually click through to it, right? How are we going to stand out in that pile of emails that George talked about, right? Well, we're going to use an animated screenshot to do that, a link in an animated screenshot. So I just click on that. Now, if I head over to my email, I can plug that in when I'm emailing, sending my email out to them. And again, this could be your Gmail like I have here, or it can be your Outreach.io, your Salesloft, any sort of email tool that you use, you can just plug this in here. It takes a second to generate the screenshot, but you'll see here in a second this really nice scroll through, right? Where now we're going to really stand out in their inbox, right? They're going to see their colors, they're going to see their logo, they're going to see their account being called out by name, my video here, even a quick glimpse of the Nevadic demo that I put in there, and that's really going to draw them in to check out our one pager. Now, so those are the 5 things, right? The adding their logo, adding their colors, adding the video, adding the interactive demo, adding the calendar at the bottom, and then using a animated GIF to really draw them in. But the question is, how do we know that this worked, right? That this stood out and that they actually did open it and engage. Again, if you're sending a PDF, it's unlikely that you're going to get any insights into if this all worked and if they engaged with it. But with this being a web-based asset in Asset Mule, as they click through to this, we're actually going to be able to give you notifications that they viewed it, right? So I just opened this up. Now we'll see in my email inbox let me refresh here. Oh, let's see, hopefully. Anyway, I'll come back to that. But there's an email oh, there it is. An email notification that you get a couple seconds later saying, hey, somebody just viewed your Asset Mule for HubSpot one pager in this case, right? But also as they go through the page and they watch the video, or they click through the interactive demo we have here, or they click on the book a meeting button, right? Or the calendar. We're tracking all of those individual interactions that they have, showing you again that this did stand out, right? That they are interested, they are engaged, and that maybe you should follow up with them, right? Or prioritize them as an account because they're showing intent signals. And the way that you find that out is if you can go to your assets here, or you can click through to see all interactions from that email notification. But you'll see now one view from one viewer, and then if you click on the stats section, now you'll see all those interactions that they took, right? They viewed the assets, they clicked on the video, they clicked on the interactive demo, and then they clicked on the book a meeting button. Did they book a meeting? If they did, that's awesome. If they didn't, you know that there was interest in potentially doing it. You can almost run a play kind of like that, empty cart, or you have stuff in your cart you haven't checked out. Reach out to them and say, hey, I noticed that you opened my email, or you viewed the asset. Would love to learn more about your interest, and so on. So that's the quick walkthrough today. And again, hopefully that gives you some tips on how you can really stand out with your one pagers. And again, everything that I showed you today is available for you for free to use. You can sign up for Asset Mule for free, get started building your first 3 live assets. You have access to our template library, including the ABM landing page that I just used, but also a bunch of one pager options that you can use, including an interactive one, and start building, pull in your brand colors, your fonts, start populating it with your content, creating those templates, and start engaging your buyers today. So I'll pause here for any questions.
Awesome. Folks, this is the time. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, do let us know. Go ahead and comment in the comment section, and we'll go ahead and get to them. Justin, I was just thinking about a recent webinar by the Exit 5 folks, Dave Gerhardt and those folks. And, there were other stakeholders from Nevadic, Natalie, and some really great minds on there. And what's interesting is that, this topic of interactive assets came up, right? And folks really wanting to provide better experiences for their buyers, right? But also in this world where we need more signals than ever, right? Where we're digitizing or doing the same thing that e-commerce did for consumer products now in B2B. And I know we're not quite there yet, right? And I know that B2B buying is different, right? Because that's really what dictates the way that we operate, or it should be, right? It should be driven off buyer behavior, buyer expectations, and so on. And so if you're creating a buying experience as a vendor that is just has too much friction or not making it possible or easy for your buyers to buy, right? It could mean the existence of your business, right? And so I'm really excited about our role in further enhancing that buying experience. But as we move more and more into a B2B buying experience that mimics some of the things that B2C has done, and at some point we're going to get there, right? At some point we're going to trust the self-service buying experience enough um, to be able to do that, right? There was a world where nobody would buy shoes or books or anything online because they'd be like, I'm not gonna throw my money into the ether, right? Or trust that this is possible. So that world did exist. I know it's been a while since it did exist, but that's going to happen in B2B. And so you can kind of think about what we're doing as the as one of the steps in that journey or that movement towards that buying enablement world where it happens self-serve. And so, these signals are really, really important. So how do you create these signals that allow your sales reps to be able to understand what they should act on? Like, I love that analogy that you used, which is like the abandoned shopping cart kind of thing, right? That really resonated with me.
Yeah, for sure. I think, we're hearing it all the time. Signal-based marketing, signal-based sales is the future. I also think, circling back to the beginning of our conversation today, um, you know, one pagers have just like lost their meaning, right? Like I heard it in that webinar as well, right? There was a frustration on the side of the marketer, and when they hear a request for a one pager because they're like, listen, you guys aren't using these things. Nobody's viewing them. Everybody just feels like one pagers have limited value at this point in time. And I think, again, it all comes back to the fact that these are one dimensional, generic uh, pieces of content that have basically become just a checkbox in a salesperson's toolkit where they feel like, I'm going to be doing outreach to this person. Let me just throw a one pager in there. Or like, I'm going to be doing follow up. Let me just throw a one pager in there versus something that really delivers value, right? And when I talk about delivering value, you would argue that your demo meetings deliver value, right? And why? Because they're personalized, right? Like you are understanding the problems that your prospect is trying to solve, and you're showing them specifically how they're trying to solve it, or how you can solve it, or how you have solved it for other buyers, right? And I feel like there's an opportunity in our remote selling world where we're getting less and less time with the buyer, and more of that decision making process is happening behind closed doors. There's an opportunity to bring a lot of that essence that we have in the demo meeting into the one pager, right? You know, we have digital products, we have websites, we have videos, interactive demos, all these elements that it just makes sense. Why not use the one pager as a channel for exposing these things to the buyer so that they actually get that experience that they would get in a demo meeting on their own time and on their own terms, and can share that with the rest of their team. And to your point, George, then get all the signals that the salesperson needs, having not been in the room, that there's interest and engagement on the other side, right? And then the ability to prioritize accounts and prospects based on the level of intent that they're seeing. I think this is a real interesting area, sort of merging between that dynamic storytelling that we've seen in interactive demos, and the signal-based selling with assets and one pagers kind of being that connective tissue between the two. So anyway, that's my perspective.
All right, awesome. Well, folks, I think unless you have any other questions, this is the time to dig in and ask questions, right? Um, Give us some feedback. What would you like? What do you hate? What do you love about one pagers, right? How do you think that they should be better? Justin, the one thing that also came to mind as you were articulating this last point was the idea that I think we're all tainted from the one pager stuff because they were all generic and they were basically like brochures that you walk into a place, right, and it's just generic brochure that's got a bunch of jargon. And you're like, I don't even know what this thing says, right? Um, and as salespeople, we were told to use this in our motion, and we addressed the actual need. What's the first principle, right? That lies behind what the intention was for a one pager. And I think that seems to have gotten lost along the way, especially in a world where we've created so much process and technologies that we've almost created our own clutter, our own crowded, kind of space, and I think that there's somewhat of a return to rethinking this thing, right? Rethinking how we can create these experiences for prospects that are tailored, customized, and valuable, but in digestible ways that really, again, optimize or enhance the experience and not make it more confusing or spammy. And I think that's what we're doing, and where we're moving towards. There was another discussion we had earlier today around ABM, and this idea of segment marketing has been coming up a lot lately. I've seen titles pop up on LinkedIn, people, really kind of digging into that. And so for me, this is the next iteration of what ABM was trying to do. And if you think about it, we didn't really have the opportunity in the past, based on the data and technology that was available before, to do ABM, even though we were doing, ABM anyways, just without technology, right? And now we are having to be more tailored, more personalized, understanding that even if you have an ICP that looks one way, you can't just take that and assume that everyone that fits those kind of firmographics, et cetera, are going to have the same problems or operate the same way. So it's really, really important that we dig into those details and serve assets and messaging and a buyer's experience that mimics the level of granularity and segmentation that's needed today. And that just can't happen if only marketing is doing stuff. It's just not, because they're not doing that. They're just not doing those conversations. That's the point. The point, you have a sales team to be able to do those one-to-one, super, super conversational level kind of engagements, right? And so it just makes sense that we have a tool out there, and that's what I think where we really excel, that allows your sales and marketing teams to finally align, not just in a, sort of like, best practice way where we're like, everybody's around the campfire going, yeah, let's great, let's align and whatever. And we, but literally like tools that enforce that alignment and co-collaboration around, or co-creation and collaboration around the way we're creating these assets. And again, that's one of the things that excites me the most about what we do. These are not just setting up landing pages or assets, and that's it, right? It's really that workflow that makes sense and maps to reality. So without further ado, I know we got 2 minutes here, but I think folks are probably tired of hearing me ramble on about sales assets and alignment. Thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. If you are a repeat offender, thank you for doing so, taking your time to spend with us and learn more about what we're up to. If this is your first time, thank you so much for wanting to learn more. If you are an existing user, again, thank you. If you're not, go ahead and check it out. Just like Justin said earlier, it's completely free to use. You can go and get started, no credit cards, none of that mess. You can, get access to everything in there and start to see if this is something that's going to be valuable for you. Folks, the biggest thing in technology tools and these sort of things is change management, right? So whether you're like not doing anything and you need to start doing something, or you're doing something that's like kind of allowing you to check the boxes, the reality is, to be a great high performing organization, you got to do more than status quo. You got to do more than just checking your boxes for your manager not to to think you're not doing stuff. It's about thinking, how do I do the best version of this stuff, right? So if you do have any questions around how to do the best version of supporting sales with sales assets and collateral and these sort of things, do reach out. Let us know. We're happy to hop on calls and share our insights and share our learnings, I should say, because we're constantly learning. And if you love our content, hopefully you do, because we spend a lot of time putting those things together, go ahead and follow us on LinkedIn by clicking on the follow button, or subscribe to us on YouTube. And without further ado, have a wonderful, wonderful day.